everyone, and welcome back to the Danny Rearranged YouTube channel. Welcome if you are new. Thank you so much for being here with me today. We gotta talk. We got a lot to get into, and we gotta talk. I just learned something, and it... so let's get into it. If I were to tell you that there were layers to a clean home, would that flip your cleaning world upside down? What's on the tube? That's the video for me. That's it. Yep. Yes. Yep. What? What? Layers. She just flipped my cleaning world upside down. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So many of you, many times, a lot of times, had mentioned checking out Dana K. White's YouTube channel. And let me just say, to all of you who mentioned her channel, to all of you who recommended her to me, thank you. Seriously, she's wonderful. She is so helpful, so insightful. I'm relatively new to her channel still, but I've seen her videos, and the videos that I've seen, I absolutely love. If you haven't seen Dana K. White's YouTube channel, I am going to link her channel in the description box below. I'm also going to link the video that we're going to discuss in today's video, which I'll pop the thumbnail, her thumbnail up somewhere around here. I'll link that video as well. Plus, I'm going to link her website, which I'll put somewhere here. When you go to the website, you can sign up for her newsletter. What did I just say? You can get her printables. You can check out her blog. She has a podcast. She's an author. I believe she has 3 books. I'll also link those. One book in particular I really want to get right away. I apologize. I kept calling the book How to Manage a Clean Home Without Losing Your Mind, but the title of the book that I'm referring to is called How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind. I need that book in my life because I've lost my mind. We don't know where it's at. Where did it go? Where did it go? We gotta find it. We need that book. We need to find my brain from the lost and found. Hello? But with all of that being said, let's get into today's video and the 3 layers to a clean house that Dana talks about in this video. For the longest time, I honestly considered the daily to-do stuff the cleaning. According to Dana, layer number 1 is the daily to-do stuff. That's the everyday stuff. So I'm gonna show you a little something that I did yesterday. So what you're seeing here is me doing the everyday stuff. So I'm first gonna show you what the house looked like before I did the everyday to-do stuff. And then we're gonna start doing the everyday to-do stuff. So what Dana says, and this is kind of in a nutshell, is that our daily stuff is picking up the recycling and the garbage, making sure you know, everything is in its permanent home, or maybe you come across items that need a permanent home, so now you have to find a permanent home for it. Making sure, she's really big on getting to the dishes right away, like that's your first thing, is getting the dishes done, but making sure there isn't a pile of dishes on the counter. So that's layer number 1, which she also says is not a part of the cleaning. It was like, have you ever found something out, you ever learned something where it was like, how did I not know this? How did I not see this? It's like it was right there. That was that moment for me because it made so much sense. So what you're seeing here, my house, is not that bad. It's really, honestly, it's not that bad. My family and I have been trying to really keep up with the household chores, keep the house looking nice, clean and tidy. So it's not bad. But the thing is although it doesn't look like my food is done, just gonna shift you because there's stuff going on in the kitchen now. Is my honey bun home? Oh, and my honey bun is home. My honey bun is home. Okay, so that's gonna be more going on. Where was I? Although it doesn't look like a lot, believe it or not, this took me, the daily to-do stuff that you're seeing, took me over 2 hours to complete. And what I'm trying to say is that that daily to-do stuff, if we're not staying on top of it every single day, like maybe you've done what I've done many times before and let the daily to-do stuff go for days or even a week, and then all of a sudden it's like a mountain that we have to climb in order to clean the entire house. Yeah, been there, done that. I've made a huge mistake when it comes to cleaning, and we're gonna get into that in just a second. So layer number 1, she says daily to-do stuff. Layer number 2 is the decluttering. Now I'm at a point in my decluttering journey where I'm just doing the decluttering maintenance. I call it decluttering maintenance. I'm gonna talk more about decluttering later on in today's video, but that's number 2. So making sure we get the daily to-do stuff done and then the decluttering done, layer 1 and layer 2. We want to get those 2 things done before we get to layer 3, which is the actual cleaning. Oh, you locked out? Oh, what the?
I did not mean to throw it into the pot. I tried to throw it in.
What? Hi! Give me 1 second. So, she talks about how layer 1 is the daily to-do stuff and layer 2 is the decluttering. And both of those, this is where it was just what an eye-opener, is that she says that both layer 1 and 2 are not the cleaning. It's not cleaning. Layer number 3 is the actual cleaning. That's the vacuuming, the mopping, the dusting, the wiping the surfaces down, the cleaning the windows, the cleaning. And the problem is for the longest time, especially in the busy seasons of my life. I've talked about this before. In fact, I just talked about it last December and November, that December is the busiest month, one of the, if not busiest month of the year for my family and I. And the reason for that is not just because of the holiday season, not just because of Christmas, but because we have the most birthdays in the month of December in my family than any other month. So we have the holiday season, we have birthdays, we have family and friend get-togethers, we have school, after-school activity. My husband works a lot, he travels a lot for work, my YouTube channel, running errands, there's a lot going on. We have a busy schedule. And when these busy seasons of life, which happens multiple times in the year, there's other times in the year where it's really busy, what happens is that because I'm already dealing with a lot, I'm pushing the daily to-do stuff, layer 1, and the decluttering, layer 2, to the side. And sometimes this was my huge mistake. Sometimes for days, sometimes over a week, just pushing those 2 layers to the side, because in my head it was like, well, you know what? I don't got time for this, so I'm just gonna push it to the side and I'll get it done when I go to clean the house. Hi, honey buns!
What are you wearing?
It's my Christmas sweater.
Where'd you get that?
I've had it for a very long time. You did not see me wear this all last December?
No.
No?
No.
I haven't packed it away yet.
Yeah.
And I'll get to it when I get to it. Boop, boop. They're just balls. They're pom-poms. I'm glad that you enjoy playing with
Christmas has been over for a while.
I know, I know it's...
You packed all the stuff, all their stuff away.
I know, but I haven't gotten to it yet. I will pack it away. And there's also I have no clean laundry. So I'll get to that when I get to it too. Gosh!
All right. Sounds good.
The problem with doing that, pushing layer 1 and 2 off to the side, is that when we get to layer 3, the actual cleaning, I'm gonna speak, I always say we, but I'm referring to myself. My family and I are so exhausted. We're so tired of doing all of the things that we don't even want to get to layer 3. We don't even want, it's like a mountain that we're climbing just to get to layer 3. And it becomes very heavy. It becomes too much. It's exhausting. So by keeping up with layer 1 and 2, a portion of the day, every day, we're minimizing the actual cleaning that we have to do. We're lessening the load, and we're lessening what we have to manage throughout the house. So that was my big mistake, that even in my busy seasons, I have to take that time, even if it's 15, 20 minutes a day, to do layer 1 and layer 2. That was huge for me to acknowledge after seeing her video. So I'm gonna interrupt my daily to-do list, my daily stuff that I'm doing right now, what I'm showing you here. I'm gonna interrupt myself and I'm gonna show you some old footage. I'm gonna show you, this was back in December, what my house looked like when it was a complete disaster. So we don't want this. This is what we don't want. But this has happened, and I'm not saying that it's never gonna happen again, but the goal is to go longer periods of time without this happening. And again, this happened because I pushed layer 1 and 2 off for far too long. So it took me quadruple the amount of time to finish the house than it would if I would have gotten layer 1 and 2 done first. Just wanted to mention, I'm just doing the daily stuff. I'm hot, I'm sweating, so I changed my shirt. It's the same day. But the point that I'm trying to make is that just by doing the daily stuff, I'm working up a sweat, starting to get a little tired. So by keeping up on this stuff every single day is going to make a huge difference in your energy, in your productivity, your motivation, when it comes to the actual cleaning part, layer number 3. So just wanted to mention that.
Thanks for tuning in to 100.100, the Danny Rearranged radio station, where on this channel we don't play any music. Here in the station, we have our weather gal, Carol. Carol, what's that forecast look like today? A chance of hot mess and 100% chance of hot mess.
I also have to take accountability for my actions. I also have to set the example. So if I'm not picking up and I'm letting the house go and I'm keeping my stuff, which by the way, if you have never had this popcorn before, I highly recommend it. It is amazing. It's amazing. I love it. If I'm not doing these things and I'm leaving a mess out everywhere and I'm not setting the example, other people in the household are gonna follow. So it's important that I lead by example and then I take accountability for my own messes. And a lot of times I will leave messes around the house because I figured, well, I'll get to it. I'll do it as a part of my cleaning routine. I did it, I'll do it. Well, yeah, but now I've just added more work to my daily to-do list that has nothing, and it's not even a part of cleaning. So, am I angry with myself? Oh, most days. Most days. It's very unpleasant to have to yell at yourself. It is. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is the last daily to-do stuff that I gotta put away, and then the house is good. The daily stuff is done. So we're gonna start actually cleaning. It's this stuff. Hanging up my robe. picking up the garbage, recycling, putting this stuff away in its permanent home, in its permanent home, in its permanent home, in its permanent home. This doesn't belong in here. It goes in the little bathroom. We have a medicine cabinet. Cap goes on here. It's this kind of stuff, having to put things back in their permanent home. I'm gonna move this. But it's that stuff, picking up the garbage, putting the laundry away, you know, getting the stack of dishes off the counter. It's that kind of stuff that is so time consuming when you're doing the daily stuff. And if I've let daily stuff, if I've let layer 1 and 2 just go for days or even weeks on end, it's gonna take me days and days just to get to the cleaning part. So thankfully this took, you know, it didn't look like a lot, but it is a lot. This took a couple of hours just for me now to finally get to cleaning. Oh God. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? I have no other place to put this than up here. Oh God. That's not gonna work. What are you doing? You don't know what you're doing. Yeah, so definitely have to work on the kitchen. It's almost that time again. Almost that time. Every 5 to 6 months I do like, well, I like to do a spring cleaning series, but every 5 to 6 months I rip through my whole kitchen. I deep clean, declutter, and organize it, because if I don't do like a massive deep clean, declutter, and organize on this kitchen, it blows up. It blows up. So it's been a while. So soon we're gonna do that. It's actually gonna be the first video of a series that I'm doing, which I'm so excited about this series. There's a surprise. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I have not been able to figure out how to organize this kitchen. I've never been able to do it. I've tried, who knows how many times. And it just doesn't work. It just hasn't worked. And I think that a big reason is because the layout of this kitchen itself is not functional. The biggest reason is I'm decluttering wrong. And we're gonna get into that in a future video. So it's, I'm going about things backwards, the wrong way, and I'm slowly figuring that out. And I'm hoping that the next time we work on this kitchen, I don't know if I can completely fix it and change it and make it work, but I think that we can make it better, and progress is progress. We like progress.
Because of Dana's video, I came to another huge realization that one of the biggest reasons why it was so difficult for me to stick to a routine is because I wasn't separating these 3 layers. I've talked a lot about this in the past, that routine is still the hardest thing for me to accomplish. Hands down, routine is the hardest thing for me to stick to create. Routine is incredibly difficult for me. And routine is one of the most, if not most important things to managing a home, keeping a cleaned, organized, tidy home. I could never stick to one. I would always break them, or I would want to start one, but then wouldn't actually start one. And after watching Dana's video, I finally realized what it was. For the longest time, I thought it was just because routine is habit. And I figured that I just wasn't doing the routine long enough for it to be habit. And yeah, I think that's partially true, but I also think that a bigger part to that, a bigger key component to that, is I wasn't separating these 3 layers. What was happening was I wasn't doing layer 1 and 2. I wasn't doing the daily stuff and the decluttering stuff every day. I was pushing it off for days on end, sometimes longer, like I had stated 800 times before in today's video. I don't think I could express that enough, how much I would push the daily stuff to the side. But what was happening is I wasn't completing layer 1 and 2, pushing it off for too long,
that by the time I got to layer 3, I was having to include layer 1 and 2 into layer 3 instead of separating them. And by the time that you get to layer 3, if you have a lot of catching up to do with layer 1 and 2, it's going to feel like a burden. It's going to feel like a lot. It's going to feel overwhelming. And I would get stressed out about it. And I would just stop. I would either stop the routine, not continue the routine. That's the same thing. The routine was just broken by the time I got to layer 3. And that was huge for me, huge, because now I can move forward in a better direction in trying to accomplish a routine by acknowledging that these 3 layers just need to be separated so it's not as overwhelming and I can continue with the routine. Okay, don't get anal retentive about the vase. Like, you don't have time. There's always time to be anal retentive with the vase. Okay, but now you're pushing it. Well, I can't help it. It doesn't look right. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll dream about it. It'll bug me. It's fine. It's fine. You can deal with the vase in your dreams then. You don't have time. Another thing that I wanted to focus on in today's video is decluttering, which according to Dana is layer number 2. So a little backstory, if you're new to my channel, I have been on a decluttering journey for well over 2 years. It's been 2.5 years. The reason I started my decluttering journey, it actually started in my mudroom, which was floor to ceiling. If I have footage, I'll show you that. It was almost floor to ceiling of stuff. Like the whole mudroom, that was for sure one of the biggest dumping ground areas in my home was this mudroom. You couldn't walk through it. I didn't realize that I had so much clutter because a lot of my clutter was hidden clutter. I still have a tendency to hide clutter. You know, even though the house didn't look that bad, it definitely looked a lot more cluttered in the beginning of my decluttering journey. But then and now, I have a tendency to hide a lot of clutter. Well, the mudroom was one of those areas where it was just an easy area to dump crap and forget about it because no one went in there and you didn't see it. When I was done decluttering that area, and when I mean decluttered, I mean I got rid of almost all of it because all of it was just junk. It was stuff that I didn't need, you know, and if you're not using something, especially for a prolonged period of time, and you also forget about it, it's most likely, not always, but most likely items that you just really don't need, use, or want. Well, that was definitely the case in the mudroom. Those were all items that just had zero purpose. When I was done clearing out that mudroom, it was the moment that I was showing the mudroom completely cleared out that I felt this almost, it's when you declutter and you see your home and spaces becoming cleared, less cluttered, there's a sense of clarity and freedom that comes with that. And that's what it felt like for me. Like I just had this clarity. A weight had lifted off of me. It was calm, it was peaceful, it was relaxing. It felt good to be in there, even though that is still a problematic area. I have quite a few problematic areas still in my home. And again, I think that's because I'm doing things not the way that I should be doing them. And I'm learning that now, which we'll get into in a future video. But I knew I had to do this to my whole house. The moment I seen that mudroom cleared out, I knew I had to do that throughout my whole house. And I started this journey, this decluttering journey. Ever since my decluttering journey, I have removed, I go on the low end, I say 60 to 65% of my home, but I do think that it's more than that. But
because I've removed 60 to 65% of my belongings, that's 60 to 65% I don't have to manage anymore. I don't have to clean anymore. I don't have to find a permanent home for anymore. I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to organize it. So that has drastically changed the amount of time I'm spending on managing my entire home. So what I'm doing now is more decluttering maintenance. So Dana talks about layer 2 being the decluttering. Before I show you some of the decluttering maintenance, what I consider to be decluttering maintenance that I've been doing as of recently, before I get into those examples, I did want to mention that I didn't do things in order in today's video. Dana talks about layer 1, daily to-do stuff, layer 2, decluttering, layer 3, the actual cleaning. And in today's video, I went from layer 1 to layer 3. And that's because at the time of me cleaning the house, I didn't really have a whole lot of decluttering to do other than the throwaway stuff, like get rid of the garbage recycling stuff. So I'm at a point now where, again, I'm just doing what I consider to be the decluttering maintenance. So no heavy decluttering. I didn't have any heavy decluttering to do, um, at the time that I was filming cleaning the home. So I didn't do things in order. But what I did want to show you is the day before I cleaned the house, there were some things, there was some decluttering that I had to do, what I consider to be decluttering maintenance that I had to get done. So I want to show you that, but this would be technically layer number 2. This is an example. I have 2 examples of some of the decluttering that I not too long ago did. This is going through some paperwork, not important paperwork, but paperwork that I like to keep for a period of time just to make sure that, I'm not getting rid of anything that may be important, but this stack of paperwork here is just not really important stuff. I just keep it, for a period of time, and then I go through it every week preferably, but sometimes every couple weeks. And this is what I ended up getting rid of, that amount of paperwork that I held up. This is another example of decluttering maintenance. This is a basket that's by the front door. This is where we drop off our keys, our wallets, our sunglasses, things like that. But the problem with this area, this bin, is that sometimes it can become a clutter zone, a drop zone, a clutter drop zone. And I have to go through it frequently so it doesn't become that. We just want to make sure that we're keeping the essential stuff in there and not fall decor. Like I pulled out a pumpkin out of there because I like having that bin there. I just have to do decluttering maintenance with it to make sure it doesn't, explode and get out of control. So decluttering maintenance is really important for me to maintain the work that I've done so far in regards to decluttering around my home. So we completed all 3 layers in today's video. And had I taken a portion of the day, 15, 20 minutes every day to do layer 1 and 2, this wouldn't have been an all-day event for me to get the house to look like this. So this made me realize that although there wasn't a lot of daily stuff, there wasn't a lot of decluttering maintenance, it is time consuming and it does add up. So by separating those layers, I'm not spending all day like I did in today's video, having to include all 3 layers just to get the house to look like this. So, it was an all day event just to get all of it completed. So that is it for today's video, everyone. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Huge, huge thank you to Dana K. White. I really appreciate all of her hard work. She is brilliant. She has helped me out so much. I highly recommend checking out her channel, her website. I will link all of that information in the description box below. She's brilliant and wonderful, and I think you're going to love her as much as I do. So please, if you haven't checked her out, check her out. But that is it for today's video, everyone. I think there's some stuff that I'm forgetting to mention, but what's new? I talk too much. But again, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me, and we will talk to you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
God. Oh my God. Ugh. That's been there for a while.